On a sunny morning at Willow Creek Farm, life began to stir with the soft melodies of the countryside. A gentle breeze whispered through the open fields, and the sounds of clucking chickens and mooing cows filled the air. At the heart of this vibrant farm lived a beautiful chestnut mare named Bella. She was not just any horse. She was known for her warm spirit and playful personality, which made her a beloved friend to all the animals around her. Bella had a shiny coat that gleamed in the sun, with a mane that flowed like silk. If you enjoy this video, please like the video and subscribe for more, and tell me where you are watching from today. I always find it awesome to see where all my viewers are watching from. Let's get back to the video. Every day, she galloped through the meadows, kicking up dirt and leaving trails of joy wherever she went. Her laughter echoed in bursts of whinnies, making even the grouchiest rooster crack a smile. What set Bella apart, however, was her gentle heart. She had a knack for understanding others' feelings and would often nuzzle against her friends when they were feeling down. Among her closest companions was Daisy, a fluffy sheep with a bubbly personality. Daisy often followed Bella around, sharing stories of adventures through the meadows while munching on sweet grass. The two would spend hours playing hide-and-seek among the colorful wildflowers, often giggling as they tried to outsmart each other. Bella also connected with Max, an old donkey who offered wise advice and tales from his younger days. He would tell Bella stories of grand adventures he had experienced on the farm and beyond. The farm felt like a haven for Bella and her friends, filled with warmth and love. They enjoyed their days splashing in the stream, dreaming under the large oak tree, and watching the clouds float by in the clear blue sky. Bella knew each corner of the farm like the back of her hoof. The berry bushes where she sometimes nibbled berries after playing, the open barn where she found shelter, and the meadows where she could run free. But life wasn't always about play. There were chores to be done too. Bella loved helping Farmer Joe feed the other animals in the early mornings. The sound of the grain being poured into troughs was music to her ears. She would prance about excitedly, knowing that after feeding time, she could frolic around with her friends. As much as Bella adored these moments on the farm, she also had a curiosity that bubbled inside her. She often gazed at the hills beyond Willow Creek Farm, wondering what lay just beyond them. The idea of adventure sparked excitement in her heart. She imagined herself galloping through new fields, meeting different animals, and discovering treasures hidden in nature. One day, as she stood by the wooden fence staring at the distant hills bathed in sunlight, an idea popped into her mind. What if she could explore those hills? The thought made her heart race with longing for adventure. Yet, she also felt a pull to stay with her friends. Daisy's bleats echoed in her mind, reminding her of their fun together. Every night before drifting off to sleep in her cozy stable, Bella dreamt of new places filled with tall grasses and flowers she'd never seen before. Each dream filled her thoughts as she lay under a blanket of stars twinkling brightly overhead. It was not just wanderlust pulling at her hooves. It was also a desire to discover who she could be beyond Willow Creek Farm. Even so, every morning brought comfort as Bella listened to the familiar sounds of Farmer Joe tending to his chores or Max telling wacky stories from his youth. The rich scents from fresh-cut hay enveloped her as she spent time relaxing with Daisy and Max under their favorite tree. These moments deeply grounded Bella amid her adventurous thoughts. However, there was one thing that made Bella uneasy about leaving. What if something happened to them while she was gone? Would they miss her? As far as Bella could tell, they needed each other's company to feel whole on their little farm paradise. That peaceful life at Willow Creek Farm seemed perfect in many ways. but also began to feel confining as Bella's adventurous spirit grew stronger. Little did she know that soon enough, fate would present her with an unexpected choice, one that would challenge everything she knew about safety and friendship. In this cozy retreat, where laughter mingled with love, began a tale that would take Bella far beyond her known boundaries into thrilling, uncharted territories. A journey that would test her courage and determine how deep true connections can go. One bright afternoon, as Bella and her friends played under the warm sun, the atmosphere began to shift. The once clear blue sky darkened, and a heavy blanket of gray clouds rolled in from the west. Bella paused mid-gallop, raising her head high, her ears perked as she sensed something was changing. The gentle breeze transformed into a fierce gust that rustled through the leaves, sending a shiver down her spine. "What's happening, Bella?" Daisy bleated nervously, her fluffy wool fluffed up against the sudden chill in the air. "I'm not sure," Bella replied, her heart racing as she scanned the horizon. "But I think a storm is coming." As if confirming Bella's thoughts, the wind howled louder, whipping around the farm and making the trees sway. The comforting sounds of clucking chickens and mooing cows turned into frantic calls and movements as the animals sensed the impending danger. Max, who had been napping in a sunny spot, jolted awake. His wise eyes widened as he surveyed the darkening sky. "We need to get to safety," he said with urgency. "The storm could hit us fast." Bella felt a knot in her stomach. She loved their farm, but now it seemed so fragile against the force of nature. The playful laughter that once filled the air faded away as worry crept into her friends' hearts. The sky continued to grow darker, casting an eerie shadow over Willow Creek Farm. Daisy looked up at Bella with wide eyes. "What if we can't find shelter in time?" she asked, trembling slightly. "We will," Bella reassured her, though uncertainty gnawed at her. "Let's hurry to the barn. It's sturdy and safe." The three friends dashed toward the barn, their hooves pounding against the dirt path. Bella led the way, glancing back to ensure Daisy and Max were close behind. The wind picked up again, swirling around them and making it hard to hear one another over its roar. As they reached the barn's entrance, they could see Farmer Joe rushing to secure equipment outside, his face tight with concern. "Inside, quickly!" he called out as he noticed them. Bella felt a surge of relief when she and her friends finally stepped into the warm interior where they would be shielded from the storm. Inside, it was dim but familiar. The scent of hay and fresh grain surrounded them, providing a sense of comfort amid their fear. The barn was filled with other animals seeking refuge. Cows lowed softly in worry, while chickens clucked anxiously. Bella felt grateful for this cozy space, but could not shake the feeling of unease that settled in her heart like a stone. As the first drops of rain began to fall outside, they sounded like tiny drummers tapping against the barn roof. Soon enough, those gentle taps turned into a relentless downpour, drowning out all other sounds with its fury. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the barn for just a moment, before plunging them back into darkness. Daisy pressed against Bella for comfort as they huddled together with Max nearby. "What if it gets worse?" she whispered, glancing nervously at the barn doors rattling under the force of the wind. "It will be okay," Bella replied softly, trying to sound braver than she felt. "We're together, and we'll keep each other safe." Tension filled the air as they listened to nature's wrath outside, a powerful reminder of how small they were in comparison to the storm brewing beyond their shelter. Each clap of thunder made Daisy jump and Max snort uneasily. Bella closed her eyes for a moment, taking deep breaths to calm herself and steady her heart. The storm raged on for what felt like hours. Yet inside the barn, their little group remained close, sharing reassuring nudges and whispers of hope. Bella watched as Farmer Joe peered out from a window in concern. She admired his bravery and felt thankful that he was there to protect them. "Do you think it will end soon?" Daisy asked, looking up at Bella with hopeful eyes. "I hope so," Bella replied gently. "But whatever happens out there, we have each other." Just then, another flash of lightning illuminated the barn's interior once more. And Bella noticed something stirring within herself, a mix of curiosity and determination. She realized that storms could be frightening, but also brought opportunities for growth and adventure afterward. Little did she know that this storm would lead her on a journey that would change everything she thought about safety and friendship. As they waited for the storm to pass, Bella felt an unshakable bond forming among them, a connection that would strengthen when faced with challenges ahead. And so they sat together in their little corner of safety as nature unleashed its power outside, waiting for what would come next on this wild journey they were about to embark upon together. As the storm continued to howl outside the barn, Bella's heart thumped with a mixture of excitement and longing. The comforting scent of hay and the sound of her friends' soft murmurs surrounded her. But despite the warmth and safety, her adventurous spirit yearned for something more. She could feel the storm's energy calling to her, igniting a spark of curiosity deep within. "Bella," whispered Daisy, her voice trembling slightly. "Are you okay? You seem distant." "I'm fine," Bella replied quickly, though a part of her knew it wasn't entirely true. "I just can't shake this feeling like there's something out there waiting for me." She gazed toward the barn door, where raindrops pelted against the wood like tiny messengers urging her to step into the wild. "You want to go outside?" Max asked incredulously. "But it's dangerous. The storm could sweep you away." Bella felt a thrill at his words. "I know it seems risky, but isn't that what makes it exciting?" The thought of galloping through the rain-filled fields filled her with an indescribable urge. What if I find something amazing? Something we've never seen before? Daisy sighed, peeking out from behind Bella. "But what if you get hurt or lost?" The fear in Daisy's voice tugged at Bella's heart. She loved her friends deeply and didn't want to worry them, yet she felt trapped by their concern. The world outside beckoned to her with promises of adventure and discovery. As much as she cherished their cozy barn, she couldn't ignore the pull of the unknown. "I'll be careful," Bella promised softly, determination fueling her resolve. "I just need to see it for myself." With that thought racing through her mind, she stepped closer to the barn door. As she pushed it open with a gentle nudge of her nose, a rush of cool air enveloped her like an embrace from nature itself. The rain poured down in sheets, drenching everything in sight. Lightning flickered across the sky, illuminating the landscape with brief flashes of brilliance that shimmered against the dark clouds overhead. Bella took a deep breath and stepped outside into the storm's embrace. Each raindrop felt refreshing on her coat as she trotted forward into the unknown. With every step, she felt lighter and freer. It was as if she were shedding layers of doubt and stepping into a realm of possibilities. The wind whipped around, her mane like playful fingers urging her onward. Bella pranced through puddles forming on the ground beneath her hooves, splashing water everywhere in joyful abandon. Each leap sent ripples across the surface, and she laughed, a musical sound that danced above the chaos surrounding her. The storm was fierce and wild, but Bella thrived on its energy. She galloped across open fields, feeling alive in a way she never had before. The familiar hills beyond Willow Creek Farm transformed into mountains of mystery, as thunder rumbled like drums, announcing her arrival into uncharted territory. What lay ahead? Was there truly something magical waiting just beyond those hills? Bella could hardly contain herself as visions flooded through her mind. Soaring eagles gliding through stormy skies, or vibrant blooms unfurling bravely amid harsh winds. Yet even amid this exhilaration came moments of hesitation. Thoughts about Daisy and Max lingered in her mind, like shadows trailing behind. They must be worried about me. She paused briefly, looking back toward the barn where they sheltered together from nature's chaos. Would they think less of her for wanting to explore? But then again, wasn't this adventurous spirit part of who she was? Bella realized how important it was, not only to embrace adventure alone, but also to show others that sometimes stepping outside one's comfort zone could lead to remarkable discoveries. With renewed determination coursing through every fiber of her being, Bella turned back toward the horizon, stretching infinitely before her. She would return. This was not merely an escape, but a journey toward understanding herself better. A testament to courage born from curiosity ignited amidst stormy skies. As bolts of lightning illuminated patches of lush green grass sprawling far ahead, while droplets painted a glistening canvas beneath each hoof-fall, the world suddenly became alive with possibility. There was magic here. Every gust carried whispers laced with adventure as thunder rolled like applause, celebrating daring hearts, venturing forth, seeking more. And so Bella forged ahead, each stride deeper into exploration, becoming not just about leaving safety behind, but embracing everything unknown, while friendship anchored warmth around them all, gathered together safely inside. Her heart soared higher outside where storms brewed tales yet untold. Awaiting discovery, inviting intrepid hearts, drawing near, opening up what life had drawn paths upon shared journeys beyond horizons, entwining futures brightly colored. In moments like these did true independence reveal itself. Discovering connections formed among friends, lasting far beyond physical bonds, transcending boundaries, embraced naturally through trials faced together. And as raindrops fell harmoniously, echoing laughter, bursting forth unconfined amid wildness, flourishing life, blooming endlessly, beckoning down paths previously untraveled, awaited eagerly unfolding new chapters destined. Forevermore shared between souls brave enough, dauntlessly pursue dreams reaching. With one last glance back at the safety of the barn, Bella took a deep breath and stepped fully into the storm. The air was thick with moisture, and the wind whipped fiercely around her, trying to coax her back into the warmth of her friends. But Bella's adventurous spirit ignited. She felt an exhilarating rush as she faced the elements head-on. The rain came down in relentless sheets, soaking her coat almost instantly. It felt cool against her skin, each drop a tiny splash of excitement that encouraged her to run faster into the unknown. Bella galloped across the familiar fields that had always been part of her world, now transformed by the tempest into an alien landscape filled with swirling water and uprooted leaves. The wind howled like a wild animal, fierce and untamed. It caught at her mane, tugging it in every direction as if trying to lead her astray. Bella dug her hooves into the muddy ground, fighting against the forces that sought to push her back. She felt a mix of fear and exhilaration, the kind that made her heart race and her senses heighten. As she raced forward into the storm's heart, puddles formed on the ground, becoming mini lakes for her to splash through with joy and abandon. Each jump sent up sprays of water like sparkling diamonds, catching fleeting light before disappearing back into the darkened earth below. Bella laughed aloud, a joyful sound that rang out against nature's cacophony, reveling in this quirky dance with chaos. But with every exhilarating leap came moments of struggle. The wind would suddenly shift, forcing her sideways and making it difficult to maintain her path. At times, raindrops assaulted her face like tiny pebbles thrown from above, blurring her vision as she pressed on toward the horizon where ominous hills loomed ahead. She could sense their presence beneath layers of clouds. They were calling to her adventure-seeking heart. "There's something out there," she thought as thunder rumbled across the sky, echoing like a call to arms for all brave souls willing to venture forth. Bella's determination only grew stronger. She wanted to conquer these hills and discover what lay beyond them. New adventures waiting patiently for someone daring enough to find them. Yet doubt crept in as she realized how truly alone she was out here, amidst spreading winds stirring wildly around. Memories of Daisy's caution echoed in her mind like warnings, fading against thunderous roars surrounding tumultuous storms swirling nearby. What if something happened? What if she lost herself out here? Bella paused for a moment amidst swirling chaos racing around. Doubt tangled itself stubbornly within thoughts, weighing firmly torn between desire, ignited moments previously now vying against uncertainties, lingering intently close together, creating internal friction. Wrestling, second-guessing, illuminating fears fostered fiercely. Evoking hesitation, just shy amid unnerving elements, raging uncontrolled breaking free, adding complexity abundantly captured throughout choices, guiding onward decisions made today, driven passionately, roving explorations, beckoning brilliantly, bright horizons, glimmering farthest reached, nestled unseen, somewhere lofty beckoning new realms, unthinkingly exposing new truths, boundless faith, generating ideas lent freely entwined blossom, splattered vivacious energy, pulsating vibrantly, wild hearts roused, anticipating rushing channels, initiated tending paths, widened, paving venture exuberant, navigating through murky terrains, eminence set forth, now pulsated vibrantly, illuminated striding, still resilient, preparing tellings awaited unleash formed brighter lights. Laughter echoing amidst confirming bonds, conveying assuring touch, forged midst earlier storms. That moment passed swiftly, bolstered by newfound resolve, threading through restless escapades, emerging from depths, kindling warmth, illuminating hope, sparking strong, burning embers, growing beyond familiar. Tying themselves together, tightly given wings, poised ready ascensions, engaged rewarding journey, unfolding greater attachments. Weaving painstakingly forward into realms unfurl, awaiting breathing, branching paths. Newly traversed finding upon hushed whispers, beckoned upon shores returning bright dreams, promising fulfilling birth to forever held dear. Woven tightly round spiral journeys, shared lighting shadows, tucked warmly beneath radiant suns, gathering perspectives flowing towards unison. Deep friendships, promising spacious travels, unfolding further differences, met sweetened pathways, intertwined visions, crafted astonishingly rapt fresh faces, gazing openly toward pleasures promised, beckoning, deepening incredible treasures, spun endlessly, futures soaring amongst merry feet, carrying shining smiles pervading. Life emerges welcoming beauty formed, depicted glowing, effortlessly moving, tethered dreams, eternal etched patterns alive, spanning horizon, wide-drawn marvels glimpsed radiate, beautifully, ever gifted nurtured, met all voices ricocheting together, cosseted summoned substantial songs, bursting rehearsals, beat lovingly, teased upward beyond ceilings, set free, prospering stretching brightly, flashing trails, woven precisely subtly, inviting enthusiasm, extended, continued connecting warmly, hope engulfed, thrived, gracious, embraced remembrance, pledged true explorations, flourishing, prioritizing those adorned, shared journeys, sparkled, yet dreamed, Century cascades, connecting eagerly moved, vibrant certainties tethered shepherds spent, quiet remembered, lasted long, cherished laughter, interspersed, ever woven, freely born bonds, empowering light, born wondrous dreams, awaited unveiled, through softened reflections, lived, intertwined forever, walking hand in hoof, renewed points, sparked jubilantly, igniting renewed wisdom, embracing nurturing trust, awaiting emerging restful embrace, secured, introducing wisely, unwavering building, ever-lifting contexts, forging legacies traced during joyous reconciliation, embarking onwards anew, shimmering planted flaring agility, smoothing motions, gracefully backdrop, brightening layering exuberance, sweeping up, urging call toward next steps, moved, shared expansive holding aspirations, alive, collectively, bringing toward wholeness forever, brilliant boarding upon waves, reflecting treasured harmonies, elevating readily into thriving futures, one bravely, weaving courage, flaring brightness, embellished estates celebrated. As raindrops fell blended harmoniously, tranquil sounds echoed, ringing steady pulses, beating steadfast, welcoming whispers, linking closed doors, shared bridges, built tender promises, awaiting warm embrace, gently cradled, reaching, embraced in layered twirls, unfurling expanse, retained beautifully woven chasing magic, expanding thresholds, raindrops, interrupts, seeking their inspiring shores, wander forward forever, acknowledging ever-growing vitality, chased onward reminiscent venues, sparkling lighter filling steps, endlessly unfurled, gently beckoning warmly towards radiant horizons, gleaming, seeking toward promise, stored growing endless amid shadows, crafted embellishing vast reaches offered everlasting home. Just as Bella reeled from the relentless wind and rain, her heart pounding with determination, she spotted a dark shape bursting through the sheet of storm, a figure moving fluidly alongside the edges of her emerging world, a stranger on horseback. The figure grew closer, becoming more defined as they navigated through the chaos of the storm, bringing with them an inexplicable sense of calm that pierced through the tempestuous atmosphere around her. At first, Bella felt a rush of fear mixed with intrigue. Who was this person braving the elements? As they drew nearer, she noted their rugged appearance and bright yellow raincoat that contrasted sharply with the stormy backdrop. When they finally reached her side, she could see someone who filled her heart with hope. A kind-hearted individual who had chosen to help rather than retreat. "Hey there," shouted the stranger, their voice warm and steady amidst the howling wind. They pulled back their hood slightly so Bella could see their face, a friendly smile that radiated kindness even in such extreme weather. "What are you doing out in this storm all alone?" "I wanted to explore," Bella replied breathlessly, still battling the natural forces enveloping her, but feeling oddly comforted by this stranger's presence. She shook off some water from her coat, allowing moments of vulnerability to fade beneath the gentle strength radiating from them. The stranger nodded knowingly, their amber eyes filled with understanding. "Exploring is great, but storms like these can be dangerous. I've seen many animals caught out here in bad weather. It's best to stick together." Without hesitation, they dismounted from their horse and moved closer, extending a gentle hand toward Bella as they spoke soothingly. "Let's get you to safety. My horse and I can help." Despite her initial trepidation about abandoning her adventure, something about this stranger felt right. Safety paired with kindness, wrapped beautifully together, offered what Bella needed in this moment. She stepped forward tentatively and allowed them to assess her situation without fear or hesitation, lifting a weary hoof gently toward the calming touch hovering beneath her muzzle. "I'll help you onto my horse," said the stranger with encouragement. They leveled their eyes with hers so that she could feel their sincerity upon shared gazes. What started external now, aligning inwardly, pivoting encroaching trepidations, not extinguished, but learned steadily folded into warmth, wrapping together, creating intricate depths, unveiling light, inviting all-encompassing innate connections fostered today. Just seconds passed. As Bella allowed herself to be guided to the horse, the noble creature stood patiently eyeing this unexpected mood shift she clung onto. The stranger deftly assisted with steady hands, preparing for jump onto soft saddle nestled secure, offering warmth against chill dampness, promising dreams still alive, just ahead conveying friendliness, never out, roaming bumpy trails found, regarding each path taken further, jangling inner stirrings, igniting sparks anew, forming naturally acknowledging bonds, tender yet vast, intimately fanned. Collected legacies, awaiting nurtured growth, urging beyond frameworks, crafted previously expanding, freely, stretching vastly, yet peacefully, renewing ways, shared longing compressed hearts, staking open overground, built brighter friendships, cozied seeking, when kindness roamed, unprotected lighting, renewed frame, assuring power, beckoned decorated uniquely, promised unrealized, limitless trails, waiting timeless inviting moments, resting gathered underneath blooming nonpareil suns, shining beamed. Once set upon horseback, high above ground, swirling mud embraced below slightly trembling legs, joint, transformed senses, activated riding, sturdy found safety encased. Finally, venturing onward, embarked anew, past landscapes streamed vast, electrified paths, anchored by freedom, exquisitely remains enacted woven explorations, thrilling combined fluffy clouds, drifting serenely onward, juxtaposed immeasurable standards, illuminating deeper sentiments, nurturing pure visions, yet engaged, soaring, filled notably, vividly entwined, evolving textures, blending, essence grasping, connectively rounded heritage, illuminated celebrating space, revealing dwellings, formed lumbricated tones, meshed elevated flows, resonating forever, sweet murmurs, restless tributaries glowing infinitely, allowing emboldened patrons discovering cherished calls, interspersed, breathed, assembled gifts, effortlessly sent blossoming trunks, flourishing, announcing actions, concluded enhances, breathed lives, beating within moments, tendered fully empowered throughout shared serenity, experienced unfolding themselves, glowing paths radiant, embracing brave, joyful battalions, boldly experiencing. As rain continued to splash around them in unabashed fun, no longer solitary distancing fortresses, mirroring surroundings, forging family-unified sturdy friendships, sown proudly transiting steps, joining exaggerated laughter, welcoming surprise encounters, gifted presenting who entirely conquered adventures, partnered, amping resounded, knowing awaited bonds, sharpened kindness, married tend back, almost traveled deliberately, visited half-knowing even ahead, vivid spaces, guiding full-soaked presence, humor, illuminating brilliant smiles, shared memories, widely laughed, collective voices, triumphantly glued, crafting riches, live-colored galaxies, patience, extended nurturing much. Inspired, bringing wholeness, fulfilled longs, comforting beauty, ignited discovering expansive reaches, radiated future, sharpening lessons, merged, inviting wonders, transported, tending, reflect, also walking lovingly, grace colonies united, enacting lessons, mirroring. Joined universal starbursts, earnings, cultivated delight, tightly wound spacious futures, elaborate engaged, wondrous, precedently, marvelously encompassing realms, thanked unfurled also ridden companionships, defined impermanently, treasured living habitation, cherry explosions, glittering resonantly, has expanded since traversed strengthening ongoing journeys, kindreds emanating intricately, whisper harmonically, laboriously, engaging now heightened expectations, exuding consistently glimmer, connecting, engaging richness, enshrined. As the stranger dismounted from their horse, Bella remained cautious but intrigued. The storm continued to rage around them, howling like a wild beast. But the kind-hearted person's presence felt like a warm light piercing through the tempest. They approached slowly, deliberately, each step measured as they navigated the muddy ground with care. "Hey there," the stranger said softly, their voice calm and soothing, breaking through the chaos of the storm. "I know you're scared, but I'm here to help." They made sure to keep their body language relaxed and open, not wanting to startle Bella further. With gentle movements, they extended a hand toward her. Their palm was turned up, fingers relaxed, a universal sign of peace and safety. Bella watched closely as they reached out slowly, giving her time to process their intentions. She felt a flicker of curiosity mixed with anxiety. Could she trust this person? "It's all right," the stranger continued, their voice steady as the rain poured down around them. "You're doing great out here. I can help you find safety if you let me." As they spoke, they took another step closer, but remained aware of Bella's personal space, demonstrating that they understood her need for comfort amidst uncertainty. The amber glow in their eyes reflected genuine kindness and assurance. Something Bella didn't know she needed until that moment. The stranger knelt down slightly so that they were at eye level with her. This small gesture showed deep respect for Bella and her feelings. "Look at my horse," they said softly, nodding toward the gentle mare waiting patiently nearby. "She's kind and strong. Together we can make it back to shelter where it's safe and warm." With each word spoken in that soothing tone, Bella felt her heart begin to settle. Perhaps this stranger truly meant no harm. Bella took a tentative step closer, drawn in by the calming presence of this person who seemed unafraid of the storm's ferocity. She could see how drenched they were, but noticed no signs of frustration or fear. Only determination and compassion radiating from them like warmth on a chilly morning. "See? We'll get through this together," the stranger reassured her with a soft smile that somehow shone brighter than any lightning flashing overhead. "You're brave for exploring out here alone." The compliment resonated with Bella. It was just what she needed to hear at this moment. After another moment of contemplation marked by rain drizzling off her forehead and soaking into her coat, Bella finally felt ready to trust this kind soul before her. She took another step forward until she was close enough to feel comfortable leaning into their touch when they gently stroked her neck. "You're such a beautiful mare," the stranger whispered lovingly, while maintaining a firm yet gentle grasp on her reins. "Let's get you on my horse now so we can ride together away from all this." Bella felt a surge of warmth at those words, a mixture of comfort and courage blossoming within her spirit as she made eye contact with the stranger who held unwavering sincerity in their gaze. With one last look toward the tumultuous skies above them, swirling wildly across fields around them filled with uncertainty, she decided she would take that leap of faith. The stranger guided her carefully towards their horse, while maintaining an air of calmness throughout each step, taken along treacherous terrain underneath murky waters pooling about, shifting below hooves pressed solidly against ground laden lightly clasping balloons afloat, promising lands ahead far clearer where storms relinquished mysteries, concealed beneath darkened clouds hovering above, imagined evoking imprints cradled gently behind. "Come on now," prompted the stranger cheerfully, as they helped lift Bella up onto the saddle upon their own steed, a strong mare whose patience mirrored that of its rider, embodying spirit, shared synchronously filled spaces, woven, adoringly nurtured strong partnerships, flourishing, hoping alongside dreams, igniting brightly, unfurling, beckoning, invitingly forward. Motivating ever-growing relationships, shaped, tasted, freely awarded journeys, pursued, discovered unfolding pathways, shared, cultivated significantly abundant pastures, glimmering, shining, unbroken, brightened skies, beckoning wide-open horizons, filled lovingly, embraced brightly. Once settled atop, the world shifted, once more turning inward, filling Bella completely anew. With safety assured, embraced lifting spirits riding joyfully alongside their companion, forging uncharted territories together. First steps taken onward beyond ordinary, recalling echoes, laughter carried upon winds, transforming journey infused magnificently. Weaving profound experiences alongside building trust, cultivated steadily renewed bathing life. Glowing illuminated anew. Sharing eternal promise, ever cherished, gathered beautifully rounded lives, weaving paths, destined forever, brightened futures sought. And so with hearts entwined, under stormy skies, filled bursting boundless excitement, hidden treasures awaiting vibrant promises, woven deeply amid resilient horizons, welcoming adventure, embraced fully alive, dancing freely surged, awakened through landscapes, graced harmoniously flowing journeys, turned resplendent. Spirits soared. Once Bella was safely settled atop the stranger's steady horse, she felt a wave of comfort wash over her. The stranger offered a reassuring smile before guiding their horse forward, navigating through the tumultuous landscape created by the storm. The rain still poured heavily, but together they formed an unbreakable bond. Their spirits intertwined like the trees bending to the wind around them. As they moved deeper into the heart of the storm, Bella felt the strength of teamwork fueling their journey. The stranger expertly piloted their horse through the muddy terrain, while Bella leaned into the rhythm of their movement, feeling empowered by this newfound partnership. However, the path ahead was not without its obstacles. They soon encountered fallen branches strewn across the trail, remnants of the storm's wrath. The stranger paused, assessing how best to proceed. "We can do this together," they said, their voice steady and encouraging. "Stay close to me." With that reassurance, they guided their horse toward a clearing just off the main path. Bella could see that it would be tricky to maneuver through the debris, but she trusted the stranger's instincts. As they approached, Bella glanced at the scattered branches and felt a flicker of nervousness. "Just follow my lead," the stranger advised gently as they leaned slightly forward in the saddle. Together they urged their horses forward with careful coordination, one hoof at a time, threading through pieces of wood and debris like dancers gliding across a stage. When Bella came across a particularly thick branch lying across their path, she hesitated for a moment, unsure if she could jump it safely while maintaining her balance on the horse. Sensing her hesitation, the stranger turned toward her and said, "We've got this. I'll guide you. Just trust me." With increased determination, Bella focused on their words and prepared to leap. At just the right moment, she felt the stranger nudge their horse forward as Bella accepted her cue to jump. A perfect timing that showed just how well they had begun to synchronize with one another. They soared over the fallen branch together, landing gracefully on solid ground on the other side. A rush of exhilaration coursed through Bella as she let out a joyful neigh. They had faced that challenge as a team. The rain continued to fall in heavy sheets while puddles formed along their route. Soon they encountered deep pools of water that threatened to engulf their hooves. The sight made Bella's heart race with uncertainty again. This was unfamiliar territory. But when she looked at her companion's calm expression and determined posture, she found strength in knowing they were facing this challenge together. "Keep your head up," urged the stranger with encouragement as they carefully navigated their horse toward the largest puddle. "We'll go through it together." Feeling inspired and supported, Bella took a deep breath and followed as closely as she could behind them. Together, they stepped into the puddle. Water splashed up around them like an exhilarating shower as they pushed onward through the murky depths. Bella felt alive in this moment, dancing through challenges rather than shying away from them. After emerging from that obstacle triumphantly soaked and muddy but invigorated, they pressed on down winding trails that led toward familiar territory where Bella had roamed previously while exploring on her own. Each stride forward solidified their connection more deeply. An unspoken understanding blossomed between them, amidst shared laughter echoing through raindrops, falling like shimmering jewels around. Eventually, as they continued navigating through fallen branches and deep puddles, Bella realized how much she had grown throughout this adventure alongside her newfound friend. Every challenge faced reinforced her belief in trusting not just herself, but those who offered kindness and support even amidst turbulence swirling fiercely about them. Finally, as brightness began to break through dark clouds overhead in shades of soft blues and grays, there ahead lay clear vistas awaiting beyond marshy grounds, leading homeward past beautiful, vibrant fields, beckoning back toward safety. With renewed energy flowing within them, both riding together onward toward familiar horizons, promised joyfully ahead, filled with all things yet discovered, nestled keenly behind gentle tides, around shifting ground, awaiting them forever, celebrating bonds spun throughout trial journeys paved by trust, continually unfolding, blooming, everlasting connections, cherished, fully amplified, illuminating life, brightly celebrated. As they trotted along this exhilarating path towards home, Bella's heart swelled with gratitude. The kind-hearted stranger had shown her not just how to face storms, but also how to embrace unexpected friendships, formed under tumultuous skies, sparkling hope. In this moment together, felt somewhat magical imbuing light, woven revealing destiny, awaited perfectly brightened. Trails where adventures unfurled, daring future journeys, yet surely navigated boldly. Together. As Bella and the stranger approached the barn, a palpable sense of relief washed over them both. The dense rain had begun to ease into a gentle drizzle, creating a soothing rhythm against the barn's roof. Bella felt her heart lighten, and she could finally sense that they were close to safety. The path leading to the barn was muddy, but the sight of sturdy wooden doors and the promise of shelter ahead filled her with hope. Just a few more steps, the stranger encouraged, guiding their horse carefully through the last stretch of slippery ground. Bella could see the doorway now, framed by beams of faded wood that seemed to beckon them inside as if welcoming their arrival. It felt like stepping into a warm embrace after braving a storm. Once they reached the barn entrance, the stranger dismounted first and then turned to help Bella down from her perch atop the horse. "You did wonderfully, Bella. Now let's get you inside," they said gently, steadying her as she stepped down onto solid ground. Inside, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The roar of the storm faded away to a soft patter that echoed off the barn walls. It felt cozy and safe. The scent of hay mixed with damp earth enveloped them, grounding Bella in a sense of comfort she had been seeking since she first ventured out into the wild weather. She took a deep breath, letting all her worries slip away like water running off her back. "Here we are," the stranger said with a smile, brushing a hand across Bella's neck reassuringly. "You're safe now." Their warm voice cut through the remnants of fear still lingering in Bella's heart, and she leaned into their touch, allowing herself to relax fully for the first time since entering the storm. The barn was dimly lit by occasional flashes of lightning outside, illuminating the shadowy corners and dust particles dancing in the air. Bella noticed stacks of hay piled neatly against one wall, and even some old tools hanging from hooks above. In that moment, every detail felt inviting, a stark contrast to the chaos they had just escaped. They moved further into the barn, finding a dry area where both horses could stand comfortably together while sheltered from any lingering rain outside. The stranger led Bella's horse over to an open space next to their own steed, and began to untack it with gentle care. "Let's take care of our friends first," they said cheerfully. Bella observed closely as the stranger spoke soothingly to their horse, while removing its saddle and bridle carefully. This act of kindness towards animals only deepened her trust in this person who had come to her aid during such a difficult time. She wanted to help too. After all, they were partners now. With both horses settled and feeling comfortable in their new surroundings, Bella turned toward her companion and took a moment to express her gratitude. "Thank you for saving me from that storm," she said softly, her voice touched with sincerity. "It was my pleasure," replied the stranger warmly, as they finished caring for their horse before turning back toward Bella with earnest eyes filled with understanding. "I'm glad I found you out there. I couldn't just leave you alone in such terrible weather." The storm outside continued to rumble intermittently as they settled into this new reality together. Facing challenges as partners brought them closer than mere acquaintances. It felt like something more significant had formed here amidst shared experiences, navigating trials interwoven, threaded through those moments, fiercely remembered, forever, infused through sparks, igniting connections, tenderly woven throughout swirling tempest, adorned now cherished brightly evermore. As they stood side by side, catching breaths, gradually returning steadiness amidst whispers, echoing tender memories, blossoming within hearts empowered, rejoicing beautifully. Weaving tales unspooled, tenderly, fostering strength, awaiting next chapters unfolding together. Both looked on at each other, knowing adventures yet awaited beyond horizons, soon brightening, promising sun-kissed skies ahead. Moments passed peacefully within safety's embrace, decorated warmly. Laughter echoed softly among shadows flickering, lent themselves comfortedly, inviting happy futures awaiting bright embers ignited, grown glowing gently around them, forged bundled closeness, nurturing warmth, cradled, born kindness, transforming realities, crafted lifelong lasting bonds, uniquely shared, forever embraced, naturally exploring every journey. Promising trails, twinkling delightfully, glimpsed, harmonically woven, beautiful roots, treasured securely, watering joys, discovered riding forward brightly destined new dawns, promising warmth, waiting ahead. As Bella settled into the cozy barn, the sense of relief washed over her, and gratitude began to bloom within her heart. She had faced the storm with this stranger by her side, and now that they were safe together, she felt a surge of affection for the kind soul who had guided her through adversity. Once they were inside and both horses were settled comfortably, Bella turned toward the stranger, feeling an overwhelming urge to express her appreciation. With gentle movements, she stepped closer and nudged her muzzle against their arm softly. A tender gesture meant to convey how deeply grateful she was. "Thank you," Bella seemed to whisper with every nuzzle. The warmth of the moment was palpable. It was as if their shared experience had woven a strong bond between them. The stranger looked down at Bella with a soft smile, their eyes filled with understanding and kindness. "You showed incredible bravery out there," they said, not just acknowledging her courage, but also affirming her feelings. Feeling encouraged by their words, Bella leaned in closer, resting her head against the stranger's shoulder, as if seeking comfort from the storm that had just passed. The sensation of safety enveloped them. In that moment, any remaining fear melted away. Bella gazed up at the stranger with soulful eyes that asked for nothing more than companionship and trust. The stranger reached out, gently stroking Bella's neck with calming strokes that made her feel loved and reassured. "I'm really glad I found you out there," they said softly. "You're not alone anymore." Each word spoken seemed to solidify the connection they had forged during their harrowing adventure. Spurred on by this newfound friendship, Bella decided to show even more appreciation through playful antics. She danced around in a small circle, shaking off some of the residual water from her coat, while giving the stranger an inviting look that sparked joy in her heart again. It was as if she was saying, "Look how far we've come together." The stranger chuckled at her jubilant display and clapped their hands playfully. "All right, show me your moves." Their laughter echoed warmly within the barn, like music breaking through silence after a storm. Their playful exchange filled the space around them with lightness. Bella could feel excitement bubbling up inside her as she pranced around happily. With each leap she took across the soft, hay-covered floor of the barn, she let out joyful whinnies. Expressions of pure bliss celebrating safety and newfound connections formed amid trials faced together. "Who knew a brave mare like you could be such a performer?" teased the stranger with delight sparkling in their eyes while watching Bella spin joyfully about them both. Bella felt encouraged by those words. This bond bending their spirits tugged tightly, mustered beautifully, lifted securing instincts, unfolding happiness, cherished shifting legacies, embracing vibrant dances forward, illuminating radiantly blended lives, gathered nurturing, sprawling, joyous moments, celebrated endlessly during journeyed paths, exploring vastly promising, still illuminating spaces, enclosing yet unclaimed, beckoning encouragement, shared ever brightly spun, brightly entwined future journeys, eager, anticipated, crafted, ever forward dovetailing, designed, intertwined, naturally daring leaves gliding together, glowing, nourished, embraced, promising harmony, discovered treasure, vibrantly swirling, skyward dreams held. After a short burst of playfulness subsided, Bella approached again, slowly but surely. She moved right beside the stranger once more, until settling near them, gently nudging against their side, while resting close enough to channel warmth ever strengthened, nourishing. Deeply instilled throughout those precious moments, knitted joyfully harnessed pasts, colored beautifully submerged within hearts, connected whole beings, flourishing shaped futures, treasured planting, blossoming seeds, absolutely wanted forth, flourishing imaginings, fulfilling awakened bonds, cherished desirously, kindled invoking love, discovered rapt, inclusive, steady, intrepid journeys, seamlessly encompassing meant gathering destinies, weaving enriched, rooted, using every chance. Explored brilliantly, given free blooming wide, revealing rich experiences, traveled navigating alongside, fostering deep connections, preserved forever, captured warmly, igniting fellowships, promised, cherished lovingly, alongside laughter brought profoundly, wanting exploration, envisioned branches blooming, reaching onward, slowly growing radiant memories, intricately tied, seen, embraced, sensitively yearned forward, imagined, hoped, destined, glorious exposures executed immensely, exciting rounded futures, nurtured, undertaken toward embrace, gathered expansively celebrated loving new friendships, promised paths, illuminating beauty, paved brightly, eagerly awaited ahead, glowing in this shelter, away from all uncertainty. Camaraderie developed meaningfully forever, altered defining dreams, needed, praised everlasting hopes, engaging delightfully, joined spinning joyous voices, harmonizing, enthralled, interwoven, intimately waiting endlessly before. As Bella and the stranger rested together inside the barn, a profound sense of reflection began to wash over them both. They had faced the storm as partners, and in doing so, they had learned invaluable lessons about courage, friendship, and the importance of helping one another in times of trouble. For Bella, the journey had transformed her understanding of bravery. Initially, she had ventured into the storm fueled by her adventurous spirit. However, it was through this experience that she discovered true courage isn't merely about facing challenges alone. It's about recognizing when you need help and having the strength to accept it. Overcoming obstacles alongside the stranger taught her that vulnerability doesn't equal weakness. Instead, that often leads to deeper connections with others. She looked at her companion, the kind-hearted stranger who had come to her aid, and felt gratitude swell within her heart. Their patience, understanding, and unwavering support during a time of distress opened her eyes to the beauty of friendship. In moments where fear threatened to overwhelm her, it was the comforting presence of this person that helped her persevere. Bella stepped closer to the stranger and nuzzled gently against their arm once more. This simple act conveyed a multitude of emotions: thankfulness for the trust they had built together, and appreciation for how they had guided her safely through adversity. Their shared laughter amid struggles forged an unbreakable bond that would remain in her heart long after the storm had passed. Meanwhile, the stranger reflected on their own journey through this experience. They had always believed in the importance of helping others, but witnessing Bella's bravery in facing the storm reminded them that true friendship thrives on mutual support, especially during challenging times. The moment they first saw Bella battling against nature's fury sparked a deep instinct within them to protect not just a creature in distress, but also to embody compassion when faced with uncertainty. "I'm glad you trusted me," they said softly to Bella, brushing their fingers along her neck soothingly. "It takes courage to accept help when you need it." The sincerity in their voice resonated deeply within Bella's spirit as she nodded appreciatively, feeling understood. As they settled into a comfortable silence within the barn, both horse and rider took a moment to absorb everything they had experienced together. The challenges faced, fears conquered, and triumphs celebrated. It was clear that this storm had not only tested their resilience, but also solidified their connection as friends. The rain outside continued its gentle fall, creating a tranquil melody against the barn roof that echoed softly around them like a lullaby. In this peaceful moment, after chaos faded away, they felt safe, a sanctuary built on trust and companionship where each could grow stronger together. "Let's promise to look out for each other from now on," suggested the stranger warmly as they met Bella's gaze with heartfelt sincerity. "No matter what storms we face in our futures." Bella responded with a soft whinny filled with agreement and determination. She knew from this day forward that she wouldn't shy away from seeking help when needed or offering her own support to those around her. Together, they could face whatever life threw their way, each challenge presenting an opportunity for growth forged beautifully through connection, nurtured tenderly throughout unfolding experiences shared. In that cozy barn, filled with flickering shadows from distant lightning outside, framing warmth overhead, Bella felt renewed hope blooming brightly inside. Their adventure would undoubtedly continue beyond these walls. There were still hills beyond Willow Creek Farm, waiting eagerly for exploration. As thoughts danced around within both hearts, future adventures awaited beckoning brightly. These two companions prepared themselves fully. The strength found amid adversity transformed them into allies poised ready for anything ahead. Together, they would nurture dreams, born anew, weaving vibrant stories celebrated alongside brightened paths, traveled harmoniously, promising eternally cherished connections lovingly sown. With spirits soaring higher than ever before, while holding onto precious moments knitted tenderly through trials faced, both knew their friendship would flourish stronger than any storm encountered, growing brighter, radiantly ignited, continuously illuminating lives, filled abundantly, forever cherished. As the sun broke through the remnants of the storm, casting a warm, golden light over the landscape, Bella and the stranger shared a moment of quiet reflection. The world around them began to calm, with birds returning to sing their sweet melodies and the air freshened by the rain. It felt like the perfect backdrop for this new chapter in both their lives. one shaped by adversity and strengthened by friendship. Bella looked at her companion, feeling a deep sense of appreciation for everything they had shared during the storm. They had faced fear and uncertainty together, navigated obstacles with courage, and emerged from the tempest not just unscathed, but transformed. This encounter had shifted something within her. She no longer felt the need to embark on her adventures alone. Instead, she understood that true bravery lies in knowing when to ask for help and embracing the bonds of friendship that can flourish in difficult times. "I'm really glad I met you," Bella said, her eyes shining with sincerity. She leaned forward, nudging the stranger gently with her muzzle, demonstrating her gratitude. The bond they had forged would remain etched in her heart forever, reminding her of the strength found in companionship. The strangers smiled at Bella, their eyes filled with warmth and understanding. "I feel the same way," they replied softly. "You're not just a brave mare. You're an incredible friend." Their words melted any lingering reluctance Bella had about trusting others. This friendship was genuine, a connection that resonated deeply within both of them. As they stepped out of the barn into the vibrant post-storm scenery, Bella felt invigorated. The lush green grass glistened with droplets of water, and flowers began to bloom brightly around them, a symbol of new beginnings and growth. She realized this was no ordinary day. It was a celebration of resilience and companionship. "Let's explore those hills together," suggested the stranger, pointing toward the distant landscape that had once called to Bella from afar. The hills were now bathed in sunlight, inviting them to discover what lay beyond. Bella's heart surged with excitement at the thought of sharing this adventure with someone who understood her spirit and valued her friendship. Together, they trotted towards the hills, their laughter echoing across the open fields. Each step they took reinforced their bond, weaving together memories that would last a lifetime. Bella felt lighter than she ever had before. It wasn't just about exploring new territory anymore. It was about exploring life together as partners. As they journeyed on, Bella couldn't help but reflect on how much she had grown through this experience. The challenges they had faced side by side transformed her understanding of courage and trust. She learned that vulnerability could lead to deeper connections with others, and it was okay to lean on someone else when times got tough. The stranger, too, took away valuable lessons from their adventure. They realized that helping others can create profound relationships built on mutual support. Bonding over shared struggles fosters a sense of community that enriches lives beyond measure. The instinct to protect not only kept Bella safe, but also transformed their own perspective on the importance of kindness in a chaotic world. By venturing through the storm together, they had woven a tapestry of friendship that neither would ever forget. It would serve as a foundation for future adventures filled with laughter and joy. A reminder that together they could conquer anything life threw their way. As they reached the base of the hill, Bella turned to look back at the barn where they had found safety. It stood strong against the backdrop of the clearing sky, a symbol of resilience that mirrored their journey. She knew that while storms might come and go throughout their lives, this newfound friendship would remain steadfast, a guiding light leading them towards brighter days filled with promise and exploration. "Onward!" Bella exclaimed with excitement as they began their ascent up the hill together. With spirits soaring high and hearts full of gratitude, they ventured into a world alive with possibilities, both forever changed by the storm that had brought them together and ignited an unbreakable bond destined to thrive through all seasons of life.